Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be walking everyone through a little bit about the AE Techron 3110A Standards Waveform Generator. During today's video, we're going to walk through how to set up the 3110A, how to integrate other linear power amplifiers with the Standards Waveform Generator. Then we're going to move on to the software. We'll walk through both creating different waveforms using the software as well as using the pre-programmed series of routines. Then finally, we'll verify a few pulses coming out of our linear power amplifier, and we'll take a look at those, just verifying that we are getting the correct outputs from the different waveforms we selected. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's take a look at the front side of our AE Techron 3110A. Here you're going to find the front side of the AE Techron 3110A Standards Waveform Generator. Now let's go ahead and let's start on the left side of the unit. On the far left corner, you will see the on-off switch. And as indicated with the power light, it is in the on position. Working our way now, going to our right, you'll see our diagnostic port or our signal in. Just next to that, you'll find our signal out. And to the right of that, you'll see a series of LEDs. So during today's video, we are using our 7234 linear power amplifier just below it with the 3110A. So we are going to connect the signal out to the backside on the input of our 7234 linear power amplifier. So when you are going out there and you are integrating different amplifiers with your standards waveform generator, the signal out, just as it implies, that is going to connect to the amplifier. All right, so now let's go ahead. Let's turn the 3110A around and let's walk through briefly a little bit about the backside of the unit. All right, here you're going to find the backside of the AE Techron 3110A. Starting from the left, working our way right, you will see the AC power input. Just to the right of that, you will see our signal input, which is the diagnostic port. Following that, you'll see two different GPIO outputs. And then finally, working our way right, you'll see our mouse, keyboard, and monitor connections. Those are pretty straightforward. You just plug them right in there, and it should automatically allow that to communicate. All right, so now we've walked through a little bit about the front and the back with connections. Now let's go ahead and let's power on the system and let's take a look at the software. All right, here you're going to find the AE Techron 3110A Standards Waveform Generator software. So taking a look at the display in the upper right hand corner, you'll see Files, Reports and Notes, Settings, and Help. Just below that, you'll see a graph display, and that's just going to display whatever waveforms you've selected. Just below that, you'll see a stop, play, pause, and disable output. Now just slightly below that, kind of aligned to the left, you'll see the add waves and add control drop downs. So now let's go ahead and let's take a look at the files. Taking a look at the file options, this is going to be a directory of different saved standards that's going to allow you to quickly access and pull them up on the software itself. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standards library. You'll see a couple different options there. We have automotive, aviation, calibration, a couple others, as well as industry. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the aviation options. You see we have Airbus, Boeing, DO-160, MIL Standard 461, as well as MIL Standard 704. Let's go ahead and click on the DO-160 options today. And let's take a look at section 16. And you'll see right here, it has the label DO-160. It has the particular section and a little bit about the test. So you see right there, we have DO-160G, section 16.5.1.1, voltage and frequency. Right there at 115 volts. Let's go ahead and double click that. Excellent. You'll see it just kind of display on the screen right there. So we're not going to be running any DO-160 tests today, so we're not going to save this file. So let's go ahead and click on the upper right-hand corner. Click the X, and we are not going to save our work. So we're going to click OK. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the Add Wave and Add Control drop-downs. So let's click the Add Wave. And just below that, you will see sine, ripple, DC, triangle, square, and sawtooth. And one of the nice parts about this software from AE Techron is it is very, very flexible, allows you to modify a whole bunch of different characteristics, as well as modify the position of the different waveforms, which we'll get in here shortly. So taking a look, you will see a sine, ripple, DC, triangle, square, and sawtooth. Let's go ahead and click on the square wave. Excellent. It just popped up right there. And you will see it does have some of the waveform characteristics on the graph right there. Now, should you want to modify those and a couple other characteristics about these particular series of waveforms, all you have to do is click on the series of waveforms. So you see a square right there. And just below that, you will see a start amplitude, end amplitude, frequency, offset, as well as a few other waveform properties or characteristics that you might want to modify. Now let's go ahead and let's add another waveform on here. So we have a square. Let's go ahead and add a sine wave. And you will see it populate just to the right of that. Now when you do want to modify the position of the different waveforms, all you have to do is go up to the display section and click and drag. So now let's go ahead and let's drag that sine wave from the second position to the first position. Right like that. Excellent. And when you do click and drag it, you will see the position change just below the two different drop downs. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Add Control drop down there just below the Add Wave. Taking a look there, you will see trigger, fixed loop, variable loop, template, GPIO, and LAN outputs. So let's just go ahead and let's add trigger. You see it just appeared right in the middle there. Very similar methodology as the waveforms. You just click and drag. So if we wanted to drag this to the end right here for some reason, you'll see the position change. All right, so now we've walked through a little bit about the software. Let's go ahead and program a quick waveform in here, and let's verify the operation of our 3110A using our 7234 DC-enabled linear power amplifier. And let's see how that gain adjusts, and let's take a look. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a few minutes. We have our AE Techron 3110A standards waveform generator hooked up to our AE Techron 7234 DC-enabled linear power amplifier. And let's go ahead and verify a pulse quickly here. So let's go ahead and go to Add Wave. We're going to scroll down there, right to sine wave. All right, excellent. Let's go ahead and click on the sine wave here. Take a look at some of the characteristics. We are looking at 10 volt peak. We're to keep the frequency offset. The other property is the same. However, let's go ahead and let's adjust the duration. So you see right there, it's currently at 1000 milliseconds. Let's go ahead and let's change that to 3 minutes quickly here. All right, perfect. Looks like we should be good to go. Now let's go ahead and let's make sure everything's connected. We do have our oscilloscope hooked up to the output of the 7234. And let's go ahead and run our first pulse with a gain set of 100% on our 7234. Okay, excellent. Perfect. The pulse is roughly 10 volts peak. All right. Now let's go ahead and let's adjust the gain to roughly 50% and take a look at the pulse. We are expecting a 5 volts peak. All right, perfect. That looks good as well. So that should just about wrap it up for today. We hope this video has been useful, walking through a little bit about the AE Techron 3110A standards waveform generator, both the connections to the front and the back, how to integrate other external amplifiers, and then finally a quick verification of some of the capabilities. Feel free to reach out to us if you're in need of any EMC test equipment rentals, including the AE Techron 3110A and 7234. Thank you.